Hey guys, welcome back to Twisted Nightmare Gaming. Just Twisted on camera today. And we got Mark, my teammate from Team No Invite, with his Murakumo deck profile that he just talked with at the recent case tournament.
Yeah.
What place did you get, Mark?
Second place.
Any thoughts on tournament and the way that you performed?
I performed pretty well. I'd say the hardest matchup was the mirror match, and I did misplay, but it's okay. It happens. I'll start with the grade 3s. I ran 4 Zanbaku. Had to run him at 4 because you want to see him, and mainly I was using him to superior call one of my arresters while having an arrestor on board and preventing my opponent from getting, whether it was a protect marker, excel marker, or force marker. So locking them down like that is really good. It controls the pace of the game, and I was able to control and win my games like that. So 4 Zanbaku. I ran 2 Musashi. Really good rear guard to have, and like my opponent was just taking the damage of Musashi. So I haven't seen him much in the tournament, but when I did, he did put in good work. So 2, and then 2 Mandala Lord. I really like him. I used him a lot in the tournament, and I was able to just ride into him and copy 2 units and just get 2 free units from the deck and conserve hand size and just play out the game until I was able to ride Zanbaku again. So he was really awesome. I really liked him. Grade 2s. 4 Fushimi. I use his back row attacking skill sometimes, but mainly because I put him on the Excel circle and he's a 15k guard, so that's pretty strong right there on its own, and I was able to copy him with Mandala Lord, which was pretty good as well. 4. Then for the arresters, I ran 4 and 4. I like 4 and 4 because I don't want to run out of resources too fast, and there's no way to recycle them back, so I ran maxed out on that just so I could get the Zanbaku lock in as much as I can throughout the game, and it worked out really nice.
And you got the, I believe it's the left arrestor that's, as long as you another, is it another arrestor?
Yeah, you need to have another arrestor in order to activate one of the arrestor's abilities, so if you want to do the Zanbaku lock, you have to have left arrestor on the board, and then you have to superior call this. Or you have him on the board, call him from hand, and do his skill, and then superior call, but that's kind of hard to do.
Oh,
So
Okay.
oh, you can actually whiff this? No, seriously. You can actually just resolve Zanbaku. Okay.
next are grade 1s. 4 Million Rat. Good to thin out the deck, and just an extra rear guard free for 1 counter blast, not too bad. And I like to rush my opponent down when I ride my grade 2 or grade 1 rush, and just rush it out with this and thin out the deck and pull triggers. Pretty good. 4 Stealth Dragon Amatsu Snipe. Works well with Zanbaku and Million Rat. 12k, and plus with a Fushimi that's 26k, 15k guard, I was doing a lot, so he put in work, and he could pressure early game. 1 Million Rat. 3. Mainly, I used his skill sometimes. It wasn't often, but I was able to pull off his skill and hit good numbers, and mainly there for ride target and shield. So 3. And then last 2. I only play 2 because I run like a small Mandala engine, so this is more Mandala if you want to max out, but I play 2. Mainly, I use the skill sometimes to give 2 units 2k to fix numbers, but mainly I use them to guard. So just 2 of them. Trigger lineup. 6 draw, 6 crit, 4 heal. I like this trigger lineup because I'm not attacking with my Vanguard all the time first. I'm just attacking with like 10k guards first, and then I'll attack with Vanguard and stack crits on Musashi or Fushimi and cause a 25k guard or 2-hand drop automatic. And then I like this lineup a lot, and the draw triggers help me draw into my grade 3s since I only run 8 grade 3s.
And is there a particular reason that you're not running fronts, or it just doesn't work with the style of the deck?
The fronts, the draws are better because if you're going to resolve Right Arrestor, you need hand, because you need to put a card from your hand into the soul in order to get the lock-in.
And I'm guessing it helps you recover your resources?
It helps with the resource recovery, and the crits just add more pressure with the Zanbaku and Musashi. So I like the 6 crit 6 draw, worked fabulously. And then starter,
It's the standard.
standard, draw 1 card when rodent upon. That's it.
Now, what are your thoughts on the Mandala Lord versus the Zanbaku deck lineups?
My thoughts is that for Mandala Lord, I feel like front triggers would be a lot better since you are going to be a lot more consistent with copying your field, copying your board, and filling up your field. So I think fronts would be a lot better for that. Like a rainbow trigger lineup would be okay. But for Zanbaku, you're not really focused on building field. You're more focused on controlling your opponent from riding their grade 3s. So you just want to like sustain them from always getting their markers or whatever they're running, and you just want to pressure them with the lock and the crits and the draws and just the hand advantage. And you play really conservatively with this deck and control. And you just try to end them with. And you later in the game you do build up a field because this deck does Superior Call and you do get Excel markers, so it does well with the control and then finish.
And any advice on running the deck?
With the deck, I like to play very conservatively. So, like, for instance, I like to ride into this and then say grade 2 turn. But I like my favorite grade 2 turn I like to do is ride into this, and then you call a Million Rat. Well, you have like Million Rat. Let's see. You have one of these, and you have like another one if you have it. Then you call Million Rat, and then you use his skill, call another Million Rat. So that way this triggers. And they're at grade 1, so that's like swing.
And now the
5K
Fushimis
guard.
also have their 5k attack.
And the Fushimis get 5k boost. So this is 8, an attack, and then they'll probably no guard. Even if they get a trigger, this is still going to hit.
Okay.
So that's my favorite grade 2 rush. But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, you just minus this and just do the basic Million Rat rush like that.
Alright.
So
It looks really, really solid. I like it. Again, congrats on getting second place in the case tournament.
thank you.
It was 6 rounds, 40 players, by the way. One hell of a day.
It was one hell of a day, and it was really fun. I enjoyed the tournament, and hopefully I could top more tournaments.
And I believe it was Janice Lee that took first.
Yep.
Congrats to her.
Congrats to her.
We got another tournament coming up this Sunday. Store Championship. Will we see you there, Mark?
Yep, I'll make it there. I'll try my best to make it.
Alright. This has been Twisted Nightmare Gaming. Mark with his second place Murakumo deck profile. Thanks and take care.